In today's episode, we're going to be talking about some do's and don'ts in terms of delivering your photo galleries and your online digital galleries, what that looks like, how I do it, how I upload it, where I upload it to. And we will also be talking about the program that I've been using in my business for literally ever. Hello, sunshine, and welcome to the Gold Biz podcast with me, your host, Rachel Traxler. Today is a really fun episode because I am speaking with Brianna from Pass Plus, and Pass Plus is the online digital photo gallery delivery program that I have used literally since day one of my business. I have never used anything else. I am an OG and I love it so much, and it's the program that I've used. So I thought it would be really fun to partner with Pass Plus for today's episode and talk about some do's and don'ts in delivering online photo galleries, what setting up marketing campaigns can look like in the program, and honestly, so much more. So, this is a fun episode. If you haven't already, make sure you leave a 5-star review on the Gold Biz podcast so it can also get pushed out into the other hands of other like minded photographers like yourself. But without further ado, let's pull up your notes app and let's get started. Bree, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
I'm so excited. I've been very excited and anxious for this podcast for a while now.
This is going to be awesome. This is going to be a really good episode because I feel like a lot of people either don't know what pass is or have heard of it or haven't really, thought too much of it. So this is just going to be a really good, insightful podcast because it's been the only gallery delivery program I've ever used in my business. And so I'm like, I'm just call myself an OG. And so I love it so much. But for those of them, like people listening that don't know, can you just tell us like what is pass?
Yeah, definitely. And coming from a photographer who's going on 8 years, I didn't even know what Pass was until recently. Now I'm like, my whole life is surrounded around Pass. I'm like, this is the
I love that.
greatest platform. And I get so excited to share it with other photographers. But yeah, it's like you said, it's a gallery delivery platform where you can send aesthetically beautiful photos to your clients, but also have a way to also offer print sales and have a print store connected to your gallery. And it really makes offering print sales as easy as possible.
Yeah, and that's awesome too. And it makes everything really, really simple. And I know most people listening, if not some, I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised at the amount of people that don't actually have a gallery delivery program. But for those of them people listening that do, like what do you think, like what makes Pass different from other programs? Because I know it's kind of similar, but also different.
Yeah, I feel like I can have a pretty good perspective on that question just because I have used many different platforms myself. And the biggest difference I've noticed from the outside perspective and the inside is just how Pass has this motto of we want to be your business partner and we want to do everything on our end to make sure you're as successful as possible. And I've never felt that towards any other gallery delivery program. It was just like, oh, this is how I send my photos. But now with Pass, with using it in my own business and everything, I actually have started making passive income, and I feel like it's all due to them constantly checking. Yeah.
Basically just like what makes Pass different than other
Yeah.
programs.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a really good perspective on that question just because I've used so many different platforms in my own business, but the one thing I've learned from past being in the company now, but also using it with my own business is Pass's motto is to be the best business partner they can possibly be for you. They want to answer all of your questions, be there to support you, help you through everything that you have questions wise with your gallery and your print store. And I've just felt that through and through with working with this company. And I've had the most success with my own print store. And I feel like they genuinely care when they have new clients. They want to make sure you are set up for success. So I really love that about it.
Yeah, and I even feel that too of, like, any program or any company I have also, like, worked or partnered with too, like, I can totally back that up. I can shout, like, Pass Plus praise from the rooftop. They're really, really awesome, and they really do prioritize and care about photographers making income and having the passive income and success from their shop, so I really like that, and, other programs too offer like passive incomes and print stores and all of that stuff. So, can we break down? I think what makes Pass a little different is like the assistance. Can we break
Yeah.
down the assistance that you do receive with Pass and
Yeah.
like what the marketing campaigns look like and all of that
Mhm.
stuff?
Absolutely. So on top of just having an amazing customer support team who they that is their number one priority, just making sure they get back to every single inquiry that comes their way, and trust me, there are a lot of questions that come their way, and they don't just respond with like a quick little response. Sometimes I see their responses in full depth videos going through step by step, showing you this is your print store, this is what I recommend, this is what we would do, and just being as helpful as possible with that. But if that is too much for you, you don't have the time to do that. We also have pros and an easy button with our campaign that kind of do it all for you. So you could hire a pro who has had so much success in their own print store, and they will go through and set the settings how they recommend in your print store. Or with our campaigns, we call it an easy button because literally you go through, you say, yes, I agree, I want to do this campaign, and it sets it up for you. So it really takes all the steps and hard work out of it for you.
Yeah, and that's so nice, and I know that there's different options and new upgrades and features that they've even had too, and you might talk a little bit on this, so maybe I'll just hold off the question I'm going to ask. I was gonna ask and elaborate on that because I want you to expand a little bit more on just how a gallery marketing campaign works in general. So maybe someone's listening, they're like, maybe they don't know what the marketing campaigns really entail for a gallery delivery program. Can you just
Yeah.
go over like how they work with
Yeah,
Pass?
anyone who follows past will hear the word campaign over and over, and but we yes, it's so great to just, like, deep dive into what that means. So, I like the best way to describe is an example. Let's say for Black Friday, you wanna offer a sale in your print store, but you just don't even know where to begin, and if you did know where to begin, that would probably come along with typing out every email to every client, organizing the sales within every album, trying to figure out how to customize it and how to send it, and that not only is that so time consuming, but it's very stressful on the back end if you've never done anything like that before. So with our like when we sent out our holiday or our Black Friday campaign, we said we would love to set it up for you. Click here, sign up with your email, your name, and agree that you want to do this, and we will set everything up for you. We send out those emails. We set up the banners that promote it on every gallery, and we send it to all of the galleries that are uploaded. And there's just been huge success with those campaigns, and it makes it as easy as possible.
I loved that you guys did that because Black Friday and just like holidays and times that you would maybe typically run sales in your print shop, those times come up so fast. Or even as a photographer, you're like last minute scrambling. So I so much appreciated you guys this year as a company, like emailing us and being like, hey, we are already thinking about Black Friday. We already have a marketing campaign mapped out for you. Do you want it? And all I had to be like was like, yes, do it for me. And like you guys just went in and toggled it on. So that was really helpful because I feel like coming from a photographer, you know, too, like the times sneak up on you and just having it, the reminder, the offer to integrate it and having it built out for you. That was really, really awesome.
Well, we love to hear that you loved it from the back end as well.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. And then even too, just yeah, hearing the word like marketing campaigns and like figuring out that with like your print store and stuff, like what are some common mistakes that you see people make, whether it is with Pass, because you work with Pass and this episode, and I use Pass, I've always used it. So that's kind of what I mean. But if someone's using a different program or platform, like what are common mistakes you see people making that are not, that maybe holding back the success from their campaigns from working, holding them back from being able to make more passive income, anything like that? Because I'm sure that there's some bottlenecks in the system.
Yeah. So, like, from the very get-go, most photographers typically have a very creative mindset, not necessarily a business mindset, and it can be scary and intimidating to feel like you're being salesy, with pushing album sales or print sales, and you feel like, "Oh, I'm just pushing one more thing for them to buy." But if you switch that mindset from, "I'm being pushy," to, "I'm offering a service and convenience," which you are, and clients want to print their photos, they just typically don't know how to, or it's just takes them extra time and energy to go download and print and do it themselves. So if you switch your mindset knowing you are offering an extra convenience and service, that alone will take you so much further working with Pass, but specifically with things you can do with Pass. A lot of people are scared to send out campaigns to galleries that are older than like 2 or 3 years old, but we surprisingly see the best results from order print orders when they are the 3 or 4-year-old galleries because maybe they totally forgot about that session they did 3 or 4 years ago, and they're like, "Man, I forgot I wanted to order prints, I just never got a chance to download them, but they're sending me this big sale, let me go do it now." And so definitely sending out campaigns to all galleries. You don't know what that person's gonna think when they get that. That might be the perfect time for them to order, and if not, they'll just scroll through that email, so it never hurts to send it to all of your galleries. I would say that's a big thing, and then the biggest problem I had, as well as a lot of photographers have, is they don't know to click the update pricing to keep markup button, because
Yes.
if the prices do increase with inflation or whatever it may be, if you don't have that button clicked, then you could potentially lose money on an order. So make sure as long as that button is clicked in your settings, you will never lose money on an order, but that is one thing I didn't know when I first joined. So, little pro tip there.
That's definitely important to know and, like, note, just, like, have that toggled on and then that'll hopefully be good there. And even just to speak to that too, of the first thing that you mentioned about feeling like, "Oh, it's just one more thing I don't wanna sell to clients and stuff too," if you feel like, "Oh, that's just out of the blue." If you feel like it's out of the blue, then maybe you haven't done a good enough job communicating and like integrating that into your conversation and in your to your brand, that the importance of someone experiencing your brand as a whole is just a tangible experience too. And so what is the level of someone wanting to experience your brand, and is it just digital, is it just on your phone, or do you want it to be like this all encompassing tangible emotive experience? And so if you have a brand that communicates that, if you're talking about it in your workflow, if you're talking about it in your messaging and marketing, then when it comes time for these campaigns to pop up, it's going to make sense to people. It's not going to be just like a jump scare of like, oh, and now it feels like she's trying to sell to me. That's not it at all. It's hey, okay, now this is the point in the process in which she is elevating the way she's serving me through a tangible offer. And so that's just a different way of like you prepping yourself and thinking about it that way too.
I love that advice because even it can be something you only think to talk about once you actually have those products right in front of you. But if you kind of prep your clients, like, this is something I offer, this is something you'll be able to order if you would like to, and they know from the get go, it definitely feels more familiar when you bring it up later. So love that.
For sure. And even someone listening too, they might be thinking, oh, like, I don't have the level of clientele. That's not, my type of clients don't really want to buy all that stuff. Can you just speak into that a little bit and like what the income potential is that you've seen Pass Plus users do with marketing campaigns? I'm interrupting my own episode to give you a quick glimpse into my signature coaching program created for established photographers wanting to double to quadruple their prices, book their highest package, and bring in inquiries consistently. This is my high level container of go to photographers who are making huge waves in the industry. And the biggest difference in this program is that we get a full 12 months together for deep dive transformation, weekly coaching call support, 4 coaches in the program to deep dive into specific topics, and a content retreat all included in one program. And I always say, if you can book one extra wedding from your year in the program together, you're going to see your ROI. And it's just the weekly norm wins for my students. So I'm fully confident that you're going to be able to do that and way, way more. And this is an application, phone call, and acceptance process only type of program. So if you are curious if this is the right next steps for you to just blow up your business this year, you can fill out the application at racheltraxler.com/apply or get the link in the show notes. I'll be in touch shortly after you fill it out so that we can talk through together if this is the right fit for you. I'm very honest with people and I want this to be a great fit for everyone involved. That's just my heart behind the way I do this process. And I also think that's why my students just see so much success in this program. So don't just be an information consumption overload this year. I want you to be an action taker and start implementing change into your business. So again, if this feels aligned to you, fill out the application at racheltraxler.com/apply to apply for my Passion to Profit coaching program.
I mean, you would think like only the highest end clients are out there like ordering albums and client and photos, but really everyone wants that. Like, and sometimes we see our biggest orders coming from like senior sessions, and those aren't like the most expensive sessions you can purchase, but those are ones that do really well with albums and stuff. So you never know what clientele or who's going to be one to want to order things. So also keeping that in mind. But some like exciting stats that kind of show are just this year, our photographers have made $1.7 million in pure profit. So the top 10% of past users individually all made over $3,000 in their business
In profit.
in profit.
Profit. Yes,
Yes,
that's
passive income profit there.
oh, and here's the thing with your online program and pass and stuff, it truly is passive because you're really not doing anything.
Yes.
You're not making the order and you're not shipping it and mailing it and it's
Yes.
that's
The
so
email
cool. The emails, all of
comes
it.
in, yeah. Then when you get that email that says you've made a sale, it's just like, I feel like I got a little bonus today and I didn't do anything for it. It's the best feeling ever. And knowing that your client is going to get a really great tangible item in their mailbox soon is so exciting to know too. So yes, it's definitely very passive and it's amazing.
So, in terms of like delivering galleries and stuff, I know that you mentioned something about being surprised that like a senior session might do well. I know a lot of people deliver their galleries together with the engagement session. Can you talk about the benefit of delivering just the engagement session separate from just their wedding photos and having those be two separate galleries?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our back end, we have it to where you can select this is a wedding, this is an engagement session. So when we are creating those campaigns, we can select all engagement sessions and customize a very specific campaign for that. Or for weddings, such as happy 1 year anniversary, here's a discount code, but it might not apply so well for an engagement session per se because it's not their exact wedding date. So having them separate allows us to create custom campaigns for those 2 separate things and offer 2 potentially different discount codes and emails and marketing campaigns and all of that. So, yeah, we try to keep them separate.
Yeah, and so that's a good thing too because like we were saying, I've always just delivered their engagement session with their wedding gallery and having those combined. But having the benefit to that is then being able to run different marketing campaigns that will essentially help your print sales in the long run. So having those separate might be something a fun thing for you to try if you haven't tried it before. So I thought that that was a kind of an interesting thing to do and might be kind of a similar to a mistake that maybe not a mistake, but something that you commonly see photographers do that this might help increase their print sales.
Absolutely. That's a really fun little behind the scene fact that we were talking about that I'm glad you brought up.
It totally is. And I love that too. And even people listening that maybe are using a different platform or are like, oh, well, why would I use Pass, versus maybe they use a different one. What does Pass Plus do you feel like offer that you maybe don't see other programs offering?
Yeah. So we have multiple tiers, the free plan, the bundle, and then it goes up to the unlimited. But one plan that we have that we actually haven't even really promoted very much because it is relatively new, but we're so excited about it. And we have already seen such great results in is called our platinum program. So basically, a little gist of what platinum is, it's $125 a month for you, and that includes the unlimited plan, which is normally like $45. So basically, an extra $85 around there to have a print store concierge, somebody you can work with one on one, a business partner that's a real life human, not just AI or somebody that you're emailing, somebody that's behind that screen emailing you, coming up with the best campaigns specifically for you. Let's say you have a birthday next month, they're creating a campaign for that birthday and they're promoting that. They are coming up with all these individualized custom plans for you to make sure your print store is going to be as profitable as it possibly can be. There's a lot of other little things that like I'll let people kind of figure out later if they want to look into it, learn about, but the main thing is that you get a print store concierge. But my favorite perk of Platinum is that you get an album designer on your team that will design every single album for you if you, whatever you want, and that comes included in that price. So I used to pay like $100 for somebody to design an album for me. And now I could get 20 albums designed in platinum for that $125 standard program or price and have them design all of them for me. And every time I do a session, I can send my clients an email saying, "Hey, I can design an album. I have a album designer that can do this for you. Would you like an album?" And 9 times out of 10, most people say, "I would love to have an album designed for me." And then they get to order that without all the hassle of going through and making it themselves and then order it for them, and it's just passive income for me, but it's a huge convenience for them. So it's been amazing. A little fun stat of our platinum program that we're really proud of is our top 5 photographers. The number 1 platinum program photographer has made $18,000 this year in income. Second place, 13,000, 12,000, 10,000, 8,000, just
That's
from being in the platinum program.
wild. And so, like, that way oversees the ROI on that. Way, way. Because I think and what I love, because 'cause I'm in the platinum program too, which I'm super pumped about too, is just it's like almost having a little virtual assistant in your team because she's also doing marketing graphics and materials for you too for those campaigns, helping you with the albums, and then also making sure that to see the ROI and way more on that.
Yes, that's her full-time job is making sure everyone in that program is up to speed, doing exactly what it needs to be doing to and then checking on them. And yes, having a little virtual assistant you can check in on and be like, "Hey, I have a question about this," and she's right there to answer. And Brittany, the one that runs the platinum program, started out as a photographer. She was a photographer for like 10 years when she joined Pass. And she was like, "This is what I would want from a photographer's perspective." And they said, "Go for it. Create the program exactly as you would want it from a photographer's perspective." And she's done exactly that. She's done such an amazing job. Shout out Brittany. But yes,
Nice.
she it's just literally custom made and designed for photographers, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's and that's what I love about it too, and it's just making sure it's almost like they're guaranteeing you the passive income on it.
Yes. And there is, speaking of that, there is a guarantee that you will make your money back guaranteed, or else they will refund you. So that's how sure we are of the program. That is also why it is an invite only because we have to
Right.
be
Yeah.
selective about how many people we let into the program because we want to make sure those people are getting our full attention. So invite only, which now if you're listening to this, this is an official invite from Rachel to you saying you can join the platinum program and try to join it if you qualify. But also just to have that guaranteed is so reassuring.
Oh, that's I know, and I love it, and I think really going to be beneficial for people, and just everything that you get included within that is just honestly, I feel like a no-brainer with it. So it's really cool. Yeah, and we really love it too. I think it's awesome. Is there anything else that you wanna kind of mention or say or last piece of advice?
Yeah. Piece of advice I would say print stores do not have to be as intimidating as you think it should be would be. I missed out on so many years of passive income because I was just too scared to start. So at the very minimum, send pass an email saying I would love to start, but I just don't know where to, and we will direct you exactly to what you need to do to start. And then also some just like to end on some like exciting things kind of coming up. Today was our first day of our 12 days of Christmas, and Rachel will be featured in one of those 12 days. So make sure you stay tuned for Rachel. We are so excited to have her part of that. And then also, one really exciting thing about Pass for 2025 is it's no longer going to be specifically for photographers because we're introducing video to our program.
No way. This is
Yeah.
news to me. That is so
Early
cool.
2025 video will be a part of our program,
Heck
and we are
yeah.
so excited to launch that.
Oh, that will be so fun to keep an eye out on that. Oh, that is awesome. It's the first time I'm hearing about that. So that is a fun new feature. Well, I love that so much, Bree. I always like to end my episodes too on just asking you what's currently bringing you joy.
Honestly, it's this like, as we're talking about past, but really truly having past in my life as I've been a photographer for 8 years now and working by myself, but now having just a team of people that I can work alongside and have that environment and that really positive group to, like, support and feel like I'm not so alone always in my business, but also, like, when I'm working with past on the outside and making my albums and stuff, just feeling like I have a business partner and somebody that I can rely on and help me when I feel like I'm wearing all the hats in my business all the time. It can feel so nice just to feel like I can take one hat off and pass it off to somebody else. So that really has been bringing me a lot of joy lately.
Right? I feel like as an extrovert, I'm like, I just thrive off of being around and working and speaking to other people. So I can only imagine like being surrounded by a team, especially the past team. You guys are all so cool and so awesome. Like, it'd be so fun. That would definitely like fuel my fire and give me joy too. But I love this so much, Brie. Well, can you tell us all where we can find you and Pass and all the things?
Yes, we are on pretty much every platform is Pass Gallery, and we are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the platforms. So give us a follow. We'd love to follow you back and check out our giveaways that we have going on because they're going to be some fun ones.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Brie. This was so fun.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. We are very thankful to be featured on your amazing podcast.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. All right. Well, I hope that that was helpful for you in just learning a little bit more about how online galleries work, how Pass Plus works, how I've used it in my business, why I like to use it in my business, and all the things. So, if you found this episode helpful, I would love if you screenshot it and share it to your stories and tag me at Rachel Traxler and at Pass Gallery so that we can see that you loved this episode just as much as we loved making it. But thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you so, so, so much. And as always, keep shining, and we'll see you next time.